Hey guys, so yesterday I made a video about what you should be doing before you leave the Ignite servers. And today I'm going to be making one for, I guess, what you should be doing afterwards. And if you haven't watched the previous video yet and you haven't left the Ignite servers yet, please be sure to watch that. I'll leave a link in the description below. So now you're in the Legacy servers, and there's quite a few things that you can do that you couldn't do back when you're in the Ignite servers. For example, you're 1620 now, which means you can actually do Behemoth and Echidna. But rather than doing those raids right off the bat, or doing Chaos Dungeons or Guardian raids, what I would recommend every single person to do is to go and do their South Kurzan questline and their North Kurzan questline. So just open up your quest log. You should have a couple guide quests that are leading you to the South Kurzan continent, and you go there and start your quest line. Do that quest line to finish South Kurzan, then right after do your quest line for North Kurzan as well. Because when you finish these quest lines, you get access to something called the Kenuart Fortress. So the Kenuart Fortress is where you go when you're at 1620 and ready to proceed to tier 4. When you do this dungeon, you get equipment which you can transfer your Icon gear that you got for free from the Ignite servers into to quickly get your character from 1620 to 1640. Now, running these dungeons is a little bit interesting because at the end of the dungeon, you will guarantee get one of these boxes if it's the first time that you've done it that day. So these are the selection chests for the gear. Now, my recommendation is to not use this chest yet because you will be running the Kenuart Fortress quite a few times. So what your goal is to go and do the Kenuart Fortress until you have enough gear pieces to fill out your entire character. So you're going to want a helmet, a shoulder, a chest, pants, glove, and weapon. Now, earlier I mentioned that you are guaranteed one selection chest when you do the Kenuart Fortress for the first time in the day, which is really helpful. That means that you already have one piece down. And what you're going to do is farm the dungeon until you start amassing gear pieces. For example, you're going to get a helmet, a shoulder, chest, right? Basically, you're going to go until you have all the gear required for you to end up using that selection chest to finish your gear set. For example, I'm going to do Kenuart Fortress if I only have one selector and try to get the helmet, let's say chest, pants, gloves, weapon, right? And then maybe I'm missing the shoulders. Then I'm going to use that selector to pick the shoulders. Basically using the selectors to pick up whatever you're missing at the end of it. Now, one really nice thing is that they do give you a selection chest right here at the end of the Ignite server as a part of the 1620 transfer gift. Now, I don't know if this selection chest is going to be giving you every single piece or if it's just going to give you one. So if it just gives you one, then you're going to go and do Kenuart Fortress until you can get basically 6 minus the number of chests that you have to get your gear. And then if it does give you every single piece, then perfect. You don't even have to do the Kenuart Fortress at all. And then all you need to do is grab the gear and then go to the gear holding merchant. And then you're going to click on this merchant. You're going to click on gear transfer. And then you're going to select the Kenuart Fortress gear that you found. And then you're going to be able to transfer your old gear into the new one. So actually, I just quickly went into Kenuart Fortress and got some gear. So you can click the gear that you have, the new gear that you got, click on that, and then you're going to have your old Icon gear over here, basically. You're going to go and click on your old Icon gear, and then it's going to give you an option to gear transfer. As you can see, here is going to be the result. Basically, it's going to be the same thing because I'm literally transferring a Kenuart gear into a Kenuart gear. But this, you can see, works, right? It's going to take your old gear and transfer it into the new gear and then give you this combined piece of gear after you click gear transfer. So that's what you're going to want to do with every single piece of your gear. And after you do that, your character will look like this. It'll now be a 1640 character wearing Kenuart Fortress gear, and that will let you do all of the tier 4 content. Now, that tier 4 content also includes the new Hyper Awakening skill and this T skill that you have as well. So the new Hyper Awakening and the new Hyper Awakening skill. You won't have that activated right now if this is your first time doing this. So what you will need to do is go to South Kurzan, right? Go to Elniad, and there will be a person with a purple exclamation mark right here that has like the words Hyper Awakening on it. And all you need to do is do that person's quest, and you will be able to get Hyper Awakening on your characters. And from here on out, every single character that you make afterwards that gets Hyper Awakening, you just need to go to the same spot and talk to the person, and you actually don't even need to do the quest line. You'll be able to get the Hyper Awakening pretty much instantly. So that's what you want to do before you do anything else in the normal servers. You want to go get your character to tier 4 by doing the storyline for South Kurzan and North Kurzan, and then doing the Kenuart Fortress for the gear. Now you're going to be 1640, and at the bare minimum, since this is what you get for free from Ignite servers, you're going to have level 3 Transcendence on everything and your 40 set Elixir, which if you didn't change it is going to be Luck set. Now at this point, there's a lot of things you could do, right? First of all, you can do your dailies. Before, you were doing these Chaos Dungeons in tier 3, right? Well, in tier 4, we have a new version of Chaos Dungeon called the Kurzan Front. So you're going to open up this map right here. Normally when you press Alt-Q, you open up something like this, right? You open up, actually, I'm going to go back to the other one. You're going to open up something like this, right? Well, when you are in tier 4, you have a new UI. I know it's a little bit confusing. There's a lot going on. I don't like it, but it is what we have, right? So you're going to have a new UI, and then you're going to go and click this right here, Kurzan Front. This is basically your new Chaos Dungeon. So instead of doing this, you're going to be doing this. And the big difference between this and the old Chaos Dungeon is that you only have to do it once per day. And it's a lot faster too, in my opinion. So you're going to want to do your Chaos Dungeon, your Kurzan Front, and then also you can do your Guardian Raid. So right here, this Argeos guy, that is going to be the tier 4 Guardian Raid that you're going to be doing. So you can do this, you can do Chaos Dungeon if you really wanted to, but if you did want to start tackling raids, I would highly recommend you working on your Elixirs and your Transcendence. Now, what you're going to want to do is go and change that Luck set 40 Elixir to either, if you're a DPS, either a critical or master set, depending on your class. You can go and check Lost Ark Nexus to see what exact set you need to have for your Elixirs for that class, and then you're going to want to go and do your Transcendence. So the nice thing about the Ignite server reward that they give you is part of it gives you Dark Fires and Behemoth Scales. Now, 100 Dark Fires is enough to get your chest piece, if you're a DPS, to level 7 Transcendence, a total level 7. And if you're a support, you're going to want to get your pants to level 7. Now, most parties will want level 7 chest and level 7 pants for DPS. So unfortunately, the Dark Fires that they give you just aren't going to be enough. But luckily, they do give you these Behemoth Scales. These are normally used for weapon transcendence, but for the most part, if you don't have your chest and pants at level 7, the weapon transcendence doesn't really matter too much. So if you're a DPS, you're going to want chest and pants at level 7 transcendence, and if you're a support, you're going to want to have shoulder and pants at level 7. So how you do this is you're going to go and talk to this merchant right here, Epic Raid Exchange. Then you're going to go and take a look at these Darkfire chests. If you don't have it popping up, because it's going to might look like this, it's going to have View My Tier, just click View All, and you'll be able to see these Darkfire chests. Now, what you're going to want to do is, as I mentioned, this 100 Darkfires that they give you is enough to get your chest or pants, basically one piece of gear, to level 7. Because you already have 3 levels coming off of the Ignite server if you did kill Thamine Gate 1. Now, you're going to want to do 2 pieces minimum, like I said. So that's why you're going to exchange the Behemoth Scales that you have for Darkfires as well. You don't need to exchange all of them, but you want to exchange enough so that you can get your chest and pants to level 7. Or if you're a support, you're going to want to exchange for your pants and shoulder. So that's what you're going to want to do with your Transcendence just coming out the gate. Unfortunately, like I said many times in the past, gatekeeping is a thing in Lost Ark, And one of the things that people are going to start gatekeeping for your raids when you get into tier 4 are going to be at the minimum chest 7, pants 7. If you want to learn more about Transcendence, I'm going to leave a link in the description below with my video talking about both Elixirs and Transcendence. That'll basically answer every single question you have about Transcendence and Elixirs possible. But that's what you're going to want to do coming out the bat. 40 set Elixir, try to get the critical set or master set if you're a DPS, and if you're a support, get Luminary, and then after that, do Transcendence and get level 7 on your chest and pants if you are a DPS, and you're going to want to get level 7 Transcendence on your shoulder and pants if you are a support. So now that you have the bare minimum for your Elixirs and Transcendence, you're probably going to wonder what you want to do next. Well, if you haven't done your Arkesia Tour yet, I would highly recommend you finish this out. It gives you a ton of things that are going to be really important for your character and will actually boost the power level of your character by a ton, because there's going to be a lot of these runes that they're going to give you, and also a lot of skill points that they're going to give you as well. It only takes about 2 hours to do at maximum, I'm pretty sure. You can do it quite a bit faster if you really wanted to speed through it, and it's going to give you quite a bit of rewards. So I would highly recommend you do that, and almost pretty much, not even just highly recommend, do it. Like, it's pretty much a requirement. Just do it. It gives you so much. Okay, so at this point, you're done with pretty much everything that I've mentioned before, right? And you're like, okay, what do I do next? Well, at this point, you can start tackling some raids. Now, again, your character is going to be, at this point, 40 set elixirs, level 7 chest and pants, or level 7 shoulder and pants on your Transcendence, and you're going to have level 6 and level 7 gems for tier 4. So these little purple gems right here, you're going to have level 6 and level 7 from the event. Now, at this point, you can tackle raids. And at 1640, the gold earning raids are going to be the following. It's going to be Echidna hard mode, right? So this Legion, this Kazros raid right here, Overture Spiral of the Crimson, the hard mode of Karja Highland. You can do normal if you want. This is going to be quite a bit easier. So there's probably going to be quite a few people progging this one. As you can see right here, there's even a party right now progging Gate 2, looking for 1 support. If you're not super confident, you might want to do the normal prog instead of the hard prog. And then you're going to also be doing Thamine hard mode. So that's going to be your other gold earning raid. Now, again, if you're not super confident about it, if you felt like you weren't super confident in Thamine normal, like Thamine normal mode back in the Ignite servers, I'd recommend going and trying to do Thamine normal again. And personally, if you're coming in with like a deep dive card set, chances are people aren't likely not going to accept you into these groups unless you are progging it yourself. So if you are joining a prog party, then you could do it. But unfortunately, if not, I'd recommend trying to do Thamine normal again. And the other raid that you would have as your gold earner is this epic raid Behemoth. Again, this is going to be a brand new raid, so I would recommend trying to join a prog group or looking for a prog group. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I find a prog group? How do I look for a prog group? Do I just host a lobby? Well, you can do that. That is something that does work. It might take a little bit of time though. So what I would recommend is going to this website, Lost Ark Nexus/LFG. Here, you're going to join 2 discords. The first one is going to be Lost Ark LFG. This is going to be a discord where there's going to be a lot of people who are in your position looking for a learning group or a prog group. Hopefully you can find a group of those people, come together, and actually create a learning group for you guys to progress through the raid and learn through it together and make it to the end. Now, on top of that, you're also going to be joining the one that represents your region. For example, if you're in NA West, you're going to join Lost Makokos. If you're on Europe, you're going to join Makoko ELP. If you're on East, you're going to want to join Loot Heroes. This is basically the same thing as Lost Ark LFG, but it's just region specific. So you're going to want to join those 2 and make sure you go in there to try to look for groups. I'm expecting there to be a lot of people in your situation because there's going to be a lot of people joining from Ignite servers looking for a group. So you can go ahead, head into these discords and look for people to help learn the raids with you. And that should be, again, the best way to get into parties for these raids. Finding people in these discords who are like-minded and also similar experience to you, so that way you can prog through these raids together and learn them at pace together. And then one last thing that I want to mention, something that you don't get all of is your skill points. So what you're going to want to do is go into your codex, which can be found right here under the minimap, click on that, and then type in skill point potion. Here you're going to be able to see every single skill point potion available to you. Now, some of these, and the majority of them, are going to be checked off, right? That means you have acquired them. But some of them are not going to be checked off because your Arkesia Tour doesn't give you all of them. So you'll actually need to go and get those yourselves. Now, some of them are going to be like, for example, this one right here, Tower of Fortune Spire. I know for sure this is one that you guys don't have. And how you do this is just go ahead, open your map, go to this thing over here, the tower, and do Fortune Spire until you get it. So basically what you're going to do is open this menu up, look up skill potion, and look for the skill potions that you guys don't have. These skill points are very, very important in upgrading your character's power. Go ahead and do that until you get all your skill point potions. And then after that, pretty much the next thing is, you know, doing your daily grind, weekly grind, whatever it might be, and then eventually honing to 1660 for egg gear. And yeah, you're pretty much at where everybody else is at that point then. So that is basically how you progress after you get into the normal servers from the Ignite servers. Hopefully this video was helpful, and I know there's a lot of information, so hopefully it wasn't that confusing, but let me know down in the comment section below if you have any questions from this video. And also, I stream every single day, twitch.tv/MisoXshrew. Come on my stream and I can answer any of your questions live. And also, if you can, just hit the subscribe button. That helps the channel out a ton, and I do this as my job, and it frankly doesn't really pay that much. So that as much support as you can give would be great, and the best support you can give is just hitting that sub button. But yeah, again, let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully I see y'all on my stream, but if not, hopefully I see you guys on the next video. Alright guys, peace out.